So look on the screen. Here's a founder and editor-in-chief, Kansas City Defender. Let's take a look, if you will, at this horrific story. This will be part A. Then I will return with part B, which will be the commentary in a separate video. Black women, we have got to be, it's not optional. At this point, we have got to be very, very aware of our surroundings, okay? So let's check this out. Again, this will be part A, the video, and then part B will be the commentary.
Residents in Missouri are criticizing police for what they call inaction to reports of missing Black women in the area.
Yeah, this is all surrounding a case from a few weeks ago. A 22-year-old Black woman escaped from a man in Excelsior Springs who she says raped her and kept her hostage in his basement for a month. That man, Timothy.
And here's the animal right here.
Haslett Jr. is facing multiple charges, including kidnapping and assault. Now, an article by the Kansas City Defender is claiming that residents in Missouri had been raising the alarm about Black women going missing in the area weeks before the woman was found. At the time, the Defender reported that the Kansas City Police Department called the rumors, quote, completely unfounded.
Brian Zoyle joins us now. He is the founder and editor-in-chief of the Kansas City Defender, an online publication devoted to reporting on the Black community. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us. Can you give us more details about what residents had been telling police about missing women prior to October 7th when the victim was found?
Absolutely. First off, thank you all so much for bringing me on here to talk about this incredibly tragic situation. It's truly horrifying, quite honestly. And the people that actually initially made these reports and these testimonies of missing Black women were here where I'm located in Kansas City, Missouri. Just for clarification, it was the people here in our community in Kansas City that were making these initial reports that Black women were both missing and potentially being killed, specifically on a street called Prospect here in Kansas City. And we also reported on that. We talked to numerous people in our community who said that missing Black women were, being snatched off of this street called Prospect in Kansas City, Missouri. And despite the fact that we reported it, despite the fact that numerous community members were also raising the alarm about this issue, the Kansas City Police Department, without contacting us to see where we got this information from, without reaching out to anyone in the community whatsoever, without reaching out to any community leaders, our Kansas City Police Department responded 3 days later and said that the reports that we made were completely unfounded without doing any type of investigation whatsoever. And of course, as you all mentioned, about a month later, after the police department said that those reports were completely unfounded, this woman from Excelsior Springs who escaped from this man's basement said that she had actually been picked up and snatched off of Prospect Avenue here in Kansas City at the exact same time period that we said in our reporting, and that people in our community were reporting that Black women were being snatched from this street called Prospect. And so the most troubling aspect of this entire situation is, number one, that our community is not being listened to, specifically Black women. That is what we find to be the most disturbing aspect of this situation, is that we made these reports, we raised the alarm multiple times, and our police department quite literally silenced the alarms that people in our community were making.
Ryan, I want to follow up with you on that. And for viewers who may be not as well versed, there are two police departments that we're talking about here: Kansas City, Excelsior City. Excelsior City is where that woman was found, having been held hostage and other terrible, terrible things. The Excelsior City Police Department responded to claims that they ignored reports from the community about these missing Black women. In a statement, they say, "We have checked with law enforcement agencies in the Kansas City metropolitan area, and there are no current missing persons reports which correspond with the evidence examined so far in this investigation." Ryan, I also read your most recent report where you took on Kansas City's police department for what they had said before, those completely unfounded rumors. And it still says that we do maintain that there's no indication that what you guys reported was accurate, even after this woman was found. And we should also tell our viewers that there is the possibility that there were other victims that are still being investigated. How do you account for both what you've heard from these police departments, those statements, and also do you feel like even after this has come to light, that these reports are still not being taken seriously?
Absolutely. I think that both of those are excellent questions. And quite frankly, to us in the community, with the police department maintaining their position that what they initially said, that these reports in the community were completely unfounded, even after this woman who escaped this situation said herself, she's the victim. And she said herself, she got picked up off of Kansas City, this street called Prospect in Kansas City. And so for the police department to continue and say that the reports of missing people from this particular street were completely unfounded is honestly a slap in the face to the people in our community. It once again just drives their credibility down, quite frankly, and it's once again just very troubling. And I think that the primary problem here that we see is that in that statement that you just mentioned from the Excelsior Springs Police Department, where they say they don't have any missing persons reports that correlate the two, what we can look at is that the woman who actually escaped did not have a missing persons report on her. And so she was still from Kansas City. She still got picked up off Prospect where people said she was missing, but she did not have a missing persons report. And so there could be numerous other women who are missing, and the police department should be willing to look into their cases and investigate, even if a formal missing persons report is not filed.
You think they owe you an apology?
I mean, not me. I think they owe the Black community at large, and especially the Black women. I mean, this woman was tortured in this man's basement for over a month. Multiple women potentially have also been killed. I think they should be apologizing to the families. I think they should be apologizing to the Black community at large. And I really don't know how they regain trust and credibility in our community. And so what we are doing on the ground is we're establishing our own infrastructure, our own public safety infrastructure and missing persons databases so that we don't have to rely on the police department to do that for us.
Very good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so you saw part A. Please stick around for part B, a separate video. Hey, I'll provide the commentary. I'm out.